Would you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID?
I don't know how many died.
The Secretary of Health and Human Services doesn't know how many Americans died from COVID. Doesn't know if the vaccine helped prevent any deaths. And you are sitting as Secretary of Health and Human Services? How can you be that ignorant?
That was not some fringe conspiracy theorist on a podcast. That was the sitting United States Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., admitting under oath that he is too ignorant to know how many Americans died from COVID. Yesterday, RFK Jr. was publicly demolished in a brutal bipartisan Senate hearing that exposed him as a dangerous charlatan. In this video, we're going to show you every disastrous moment as senators from both parties expose the lies, the cover-ups, and the sheer incompetence of the man Donald Trump put in charge of your family's health. The hearing was a train wreck from the start, as senators immediately called Kennedy out for breaking the one promise that got him confirmed, that he wouldn't take vaccines away from people. But as one Republican senator revealed, Kennedy's lies are already having devastating consequences for the most vulnerable Americans.
I told Senator Wyden at the outset that you didn't want to take vaccines away from people. And as I conclude, I would like to say this. Because of the conflicting recommendations made about COVID. This is from Eric Erickson, good conservative out of Atlanta, Georgia, occasionally gives me hell. My wife has stage 4 lung cancer. She is one of the people the COVID vaccine actually helps. Thanks to the current mess at HHS, CVS is unable to get her vaccine. I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
Let that sink in. A Republican senator is on national television reading a message about how RFK Jr.'s new policy is actively preventing a stage 4 cancer patient from getting a vaccine. And what was Kennedy's pathetic excuse? He played word games, pretending that if a vaccine isn't recommended, it isn't being taken away, a cowardly lie that he got called out on immediately.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, last November, while you were under consideration to become Secretary of Health and Human Services, Mr. Kennedy, you said, quote, if vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. You would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. Then last week, you announced that the COVID-19 vaccine is no longer approved for healthy people under the age of 65. In announcing the change, you said the vaccine will be available for anyone who wants it. Now, obviously, both things cannot be true at the same moment. So let's clear this up right now, Secretary Kennedy. Will you tell America that all adults and all children over 6 months of age are eligible to get a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today?
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it, Senator.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS. Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200 or so cost. As Senator Dr. Cassidy said, you are effectively denying people vaccines.
He knows exactly what he's doing. By changing the official recommendation, insurance companies no longer have to cover the cost, effectively denying access to millions of Americans who can't afford to pay hundreds of dollars out of pocket. It's a backdoor ban designed to push his radical anti-science agenda while giving him plausible deniability. It's despicable. But this goes so much deeper than just COVID. According to a bombshell report from the BBC, this entire fiasco began when Kennedy fired the entire panel of independent vaccine experts and started installing his own anti-vax cronies. When the head of the CDC, Dr. Susan Monarez, reportedly refused to go along with his scheme, he fired her. His explanation for that firing is genuinely unhinged. Just watch him try to explain it under oath.
Medicaid will tell the head of the CDC that if she refused to sign off on your changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, that she had to resign?
No, I told her that she had to resign because I asked her, are you a trustworthy person? And she said no. So if you had an employee who told you they weren't trustworthy, would you ask them to resign, Senator?
So I'm sorry, but this is not what she has said publicly. She has
Well,
said
I'm
she
not
was
surprised about that.
So you're saying she's lying?
Yes. Every conversation I had with her, there
And
were
let me get this
witnesses.
straight. This is the same person that less than a month earlier, you stood next to her and described her as unimpeachable. And you had full confidence in her, and that you had full confidence in her scientific credentials. And in a month, she became a liar? Is
Yeah,
that what
you
you're
should
saying?
ask her what changed. And by the way, a month ago, you were voting against her. Oh, because you thought she was either incompetent, ineligible, or unsuited to the task.
I voted
Now I
against her
agree
because
with
I
you.
was afraid she was going to bend the knee to you and Donald Trump. And it looks like she didn't bend the knee, so you fired her. Look, you're putting America's babies' health at risk, America's seniors' health at risk, all Americans' health at risk, and you should resign.
Absolutely pathetic. He fires the nation's top infectious disease expert based on a bizarre, unbelievable story that sounds like a third grader made it up, then has the audacity to call her a liar in a public hearing. He's creating chaos, firing hundreds of CDC employees, and attacking the very institutions meant to keep us safe. Even Trump's allies in the Senate were horrified by the meltdown. When you have the man in charge of the nation's health admitting he doesn't know basic facts, lying about his own policies, and firing scientists who disagree with him, you don't have a cabinet secretary. You have a public health crisis.
Well, I didn't get to watch the hearings today, but he's a very good person. And he means very well, and he's got some little different ideas. I guarantee a lot of the people at this table like RFK Jr., and I do. But he's got a different take, and we want to listen to all of those takes. But I heard he did very well today. But it's not your standard. It's not your standard talk, I would say, and that has to do with medical and vaccines. But if you look at what's going on in the world with health, and look at this country also with regard to health, I like the fact that he's different.
RFK Jr. isn't just different, as Trump laughably described him. He is a clear and present danger, a conspiracy theorist with the entire U.S. health system at his fingertips. This is the corruption they don't want you to see, but we'll be watching.